What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and wait, don't go anywhere based off what you see here. It might not be what you think. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Tell me what you carry today, what kind of holster, what kind of defensive ammo, and let's get into this video. Today we're going to be talking about a handgun that was unreliable, drove me crazy, but I liked at first. I really loved the handgun. And we're talking about that Beretta Pico. This thing is an absolute self-defense monster right here. This is the king of all everyday carry handguns. Just kidding, guys. Screw this thing. Now, we're actually talking about the Canik Meta MC9. And it's been a roller coaster ride with this handgun. But guess what? At Spin Firearms, we are not bought out. We are not paid. We are not influenced by anything. Now, that doesn't mean I don't learn. That doesn't mean I don't like to watch other people's videos. That doesn't mean I don't like firearms in general. But here's the thing. I don't let anyone choose what I like. Now, here's the thing. You guys may see this video and say, oh, that Canik looks sweet. You know, his hands look about my size. That might fit my hand pretty well. The trigger looked pretty good. Looks like a good package. I might go check that out. But I would never say you need to buy this. And here's the thing. You go into gun stores and they pressure you like no other. Like, I went in to buy a Ruger LCP, and I left with a SIG P365 and 380. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't want the SIG. If I wanted the SIG, I would have just bought the SIG. But I let the guy influence me, and it was almost so awkward that I just let it happen. But it is what it is. You know, I bought the LCP the next week anyway, so it is what it is. But don't let anyone influence you. Because here's the thing. If you watch these YouTube videos carefully, listen to what people are saying. One moment, the SIG is the worst handgun to them. 6 months later, they do 5 reviews on the SIG, and they love it. Watch these channels. They talk down on one handgun. Go back, watch a video from a year ago, 2 years ago. They loved that handgun. But now it's no longer relevant. And that's interesting, because I had someone put a comment under one of my videos. I was explaining why I don't carry my SIG P365, and it was simply because of reliability issues. I had issues with mine. And he said, oh, you must have got paid to bash SIG. I said, are you kidding me? Like, first of all, I don't get paid by any companies like that. Second of all, because it's unreliable, I didn't want to carry it. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if I didn't want to carry it and it was 100% reliable, there's nothing you can say to me to change my preference, my opinion on what I shoot best. It just is what it is. But over here, you'll never see me jump around. Go back. Watch my first impressions video, the Canik. I gave it an 8 out of 10 overall. I said the trigger's awesome. The ergonomics are on point, even before I swapped out the backstrap. Comes with a rail. I said everything about this handgun is right up my alley. I said it's the perfect size. I thought it was just the greatest thing. And I shot it and tested it, and I carried it for a while. I got an awesome holster for it. This was actually going to be one of my main carries. Well, I was at the range, and I had good federal premium, and I'm shooting, and I started having malfunctions. 700 and some rounds, I think it was 736 or 737 rounds in, malfunctions. And it wasn't just once, it was multiple times that day. So I said, okay, it's got to be the ammo, it's got to be some issue with this box. Went back the next weekend, same thing. I had 3 malfunctions in one range session of shooting 300 rounds or so. And it was just absolutely unreal that a firearm could be so reliable, shoot all my hollow points and everything, and then over the course of shooting and putting some more rounds through it and testing it, it became unreliable. So I no longer carried it. I just said, hey guys, you got to be careful, because not only does my local gunsmith have the same issue with his Canik Meta MC9, but I've seen other people having the same issues, and it tends to happen at a higher round count. I used to have a rule, the 300 rule. 300 rounds of target ammo, 1 box of hollow points, and those same hollow points is what you carry with. I deem that reliable. This handgun changed that for me, and it made me really nervous to not know when to expect a handgun to be reliable. My Beretta Pico, that ugly duckling you saw at first in the video, that thing was reliable when I first got it. I actually liked it because it's so smooth shooting for how tiny it is. But then I started having issues with it. Absolutely crazy. There's nothing wrong with being honest about the problems that you have. My Glock 28, I love Glocks, and I love baby Glocks and subcompact Glocks. Not only did I expose that mine had major issues, but I also said I understand why it's a great handgun for a lot of people out there. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me, but for other people it does, who have hand problems and all sorts of stuff. It's a great shooter. But mine was unreliable. And I'm a Glock fanboy, according to the internet. So, you know, just be real with yourselves when you see this content and realize that I'm just being honest with my experience. This was going to be one of my main carries, and then it just wasn't because of how it was performing. But the Canik Meta MC9 has got my respect back. I got my new guide rod. As you can see right there, that thing is clean and fresh. Beautiful shooter. Beautiful handgun. I rate this now at a 9 out of 10. This has really crawled up in my list. I made some top 5 lists and some top 25 lists and stuff like that. And this has actually been working its way up. I don't know what I think I put like 11 or something on my top 25. It's probably at my number 6 right now. This is in my carry rotation. I've really put a lot of rounds through this thing as of recent, and this thing has just handled everything, eaten everything. So Canik, they know the fix, and they fixed it, and they made it right. So I do not fault them for that. That does not change how I feel right now because I have put the time and effort into making sure this thing runs. So this right here is one of the greatest handguns that I own. Texturing on point. Size and concealability on point. Forward rear serrations that work and aren't too slippery on point. The finish is something that we'll still have to see. We're getting a little bit of blotchiness and spotting. That's pretty common based off the oils that come off your hands and sweaty hands and holsters and stuff like that. But as you can see, the wear is actually pretty minimal. You see, it's only on the flat or on the line edges. As you can see, it's only on the edges, which is actually pretty nice, and it shows that it was actually designed for very minimal wear. But yeah, actually looks pretty good. The barrel looks pretty good. Overall, looks like a pretty good shape for how many rounds I have through it. Awesome sights, and I know my red dot is a piece of crap on here. You guys don't have to tell me once, you don't have to tell me twice, but it works for me. Mine doesn't have issues. So you guys can say what you want. One day this was the only optic they had at the gun store I went to, and I needed an optic. Was going to go shooting, and I just wanted to have something fun with. I ended up paying like $125 for this thing, and I was fine with it. And it runs, so it's just a SIG Romeo Zero or whatever. Also has an awesome rail. There are some awesome light options for this. Great takedown lever. The controls all work. One of my number 1 complaints was that mag drop, but I fixed the mag drop issue. The mag now drops free. I showed videos earlier showing how it would get stuck. It would come down to like here and get stuck. But I fixed that, and that was just a break-in period. So I get it. That's not a massive issue. That's not a big deal. Nothing, because it all works now. But the real thing that is amazing is this little thing right here. Now, what I don't like about it is this isn't a good winter carry for me because I wear Magpul gloves everywhere I go. Look at how tiny that trigger guard is. Like, compared to the Ruger even. And the Ruger doesn't have a massive trigger guard. Compared to this HK, it's very hard to get a gloved finger in there. But look at this. So crisp, so clean. One of the best triggers on any defensive pistol out there. It is dang near perfect for everyday carry. I love it. The Canik Meta MC9. We're going to keep running rounds through. Who knows? Maybe it'll surpass some of my other Micro 9s. But the Canik Meta MC9 has proved reliable. Again, we've already surpassed my old round count because we started new with the new guide rod. I love this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.